Hello, everyone, and welcome to our short knowledge session on smarter model management. We want to share how BIMcollab can help improve some of your BIM work processes around models and around model management by looking at some of its key features. First of all, I would like to thank you for attending the session today. Our goal is to show you how BIMcollab is shifting from a platform that does not only manage issues anymore, but can now be used to manage models and the related documents. My name is Lilian Mandalios, and I'm part of our customer success team. Today, I also have my colleague Gijs, who is joining us from the background, and he will be answering any questions that you may be having during the session in the chat. And by the end of the presentation, we will have a few minutes to answer some of your questions. So let's get right to it. There are several key elements to smarter model management, and I'd like to focus on just 3 today. So first of all, structure. Structure helps and enables predictability. So when working with complex teams and diverse project requirements, structure provides clarity, defines responsibilities and expectations, especially as models evolve over time. Second of all, accessibility. So access control supports security as well as clarity. So not everyone needs to have the same access to the models. It might be someone that is heavy in coordination and someone who might just be a side stakeholder. So having the right permissions in place at the right time is really important to get to the models correctly or see what you need to see. And third of all, collaboration is really key, especially as for BIMcollab, but collaboration must also be managed in a structured way. So model collaboration is essential to help reduce any frictions and keep also teams aligned in one go. So to support these 3 aspects or these 3 concepts, I want to walk with you through some of the BIMcollab features of structure, accessibility, and collaboration, and how BIMcollab can help create the right framework for that. So let's first start with model structuring. So structuring model is key right from the beginning of the planning phases from your modeling tool, but it can really extend all the way to your issue management or document management system. So from now on, BIMcollab offers you the possibility to centralize and manage your issues in one place, so directly in BIMcollab. That means you can upload it, you can download the models, you can store them, you can also manage versions as well. So this is now a new possibility, for example, on how you can work with a web viewer. Second of all, in BIMcollab, you can also have project phases. So you have your main project and you can create multiple phases underneath. And for each phase, you can have your designated models. So you can create model segmentation to help refine your structuring even more. So let's go now one step deeper. In the web viewer, for the ones that already know the model tags are really helpful in structuring your models, viewing them, controlling visibility, but it's also extra beneficial if you also have multiple phases in a project. The model tags are now uniform. So from project throughout all the phases, your model tags are consistent. So you can have a consistent structuring. Let's go now to an even more refined or more detail on how you can help structure your models, aka also documents in BIMcollab. So documents, so models are seen as documents in BIMcollab. We have a feature called placeholders, which allows you to manage documents or models for accurate and timely model delivery. So I'll be able to set up predefined properties so a model or a document can be correctly uploaded for the delivery. Let's now jump to the second concept of accessibility. So we said we want the right people to get to the right information or the right models at the right time. So right now with BIMcollab, we have a brand new feature available with our latest release, which is a read-only model viewer. What do I mean by this? I can start inviting users into my project to view my model for free. So without taking away a license from your subscription, they'll be able to now access your model. So this is really helpful for like a broad range of stakeholders or planners that might just want to see the model for starters. Let's now jump one level deeper. So we have our broad viewers, but then we have also stakeholders that want to see, for example, only approved models or published models that went through an approval workflow. That would be one category. But you also have and/or the option for users to see documents or models in this case, which are unpublished. So there may be documents or models which are still in work in progress or just temporarily shared in BIMcollab, which is also ISO 19650 certified in terms of this workflow. If we then look one step deeper, we have the users that might want to have access to confidential or sensitive models. That would also be possible as a setting, so to make it a little bit more specific in terms of accessibility. And what is then also possible in BIMcollab on a very on very specific settings, you can set up the user permissions up to the point of what file formats could potentially be downloaded, for example. So in the case of user roles on either project or phase level, you have more options there, for example, who can delete models, who can upload models, and so forth. Let's jump now to the third concept, and then we'll go right to the demo part on model collaboration. So model collaboration is really key to create efficient teamwork. And many of you might already know that BIMcollab Nexus or our cloud has a WebZync integration with BIMcollab Zoom. And that's currently already possible. And now with the latest release, it's also possible to view the model tags in BIMcollab Zoom as properties. And what's additionally possible, if you are using phases in BIMcollab, you'll also be able to see the active phase model in BIMcollab Zoom, if that's how you are working. So this is really helpful for the users which use either the IFC viewer of Zoom or the ones which are also doing model validation or clash detection in BIMcollab Zoom. We will then also have a brief look at how documents or models can be linked in the document tabs or in BIMcollab to create, for example, federated downloads. So you can package your documents together, you can package your models together, so you can quickly have a download. And thirdly, we will also have a brief look at how you can add documents to model objects in the web viewer to create a bit more context. So maybe you want this object to have a related document to help a certain supplier with some specifications. That is also possible. And fourthly, BIMcollab the BIMcollab documents are based on metadata, which is a way that the documents or the models can be found. So now you can work with shared smart filters within your team, so you can quickly access what you are looking for. So quickly access the models and download them the way that you need to. And here I will just make a general remark on collaboration and model size and also performance of your viewer. So collaboration is really made easier when the performance of the tool is also going well, because it makes it easier for people to come together to use it, makes it more accessible as a whole. So these are now the three main concepts that we looked at. So structure, accessibility, and collaboration. And now I would like to walk you through it on how BIMcollab approaches these three topics as a whole. So we'll go to the live demo part, so we can have also the visual now on what I was talking about. Okay, so let's start with structure. So I mentioned that now with BIMcollab, you can centralize your documents as well as your models in one place. And I'll start here in my project in the document tab. Here I have the option to do an easy upload. I can just select my IFC model in this case. So I have a document that's an IFC model. I'm uploading it with this easy upload method, and this document now, or this model, will show up in my document tab. And if I click on it, if you follow my mouse on the right side, I can now add it to the web viewer. So I'll be able to show it to the users or to the free users, for example, in the web viewer. I will do this now. So I'm adding it to the web viewer. You can also directly remove it. I will jump now to the topic of accessibility, so a short interlude. You can also directly publish a model here, because we talked about the approval workflow. So you can say this document now needs to be published, and I can publish it, and the users which can see published documents will also see this model. And in the versions tab here, you will be able to also follow track on the versioning of your documents or your models. So if I upload now a new file with a new model, it will automatically recognize that it's version 2 if the file name is the same. Okay, so that would also be possible. So this is how you can do it in the Documents tab. But the existing workflow in the web viewer is still possible. So in the case of now the web viewer, for the ones that know it, I can directly upload a file, which is still a possible workflow. And this model now, which is also a document, will show up in the Document tab. So both uploads of the models are possible. We, of course, recommend one method to keep it uniform, but this will be really dependent on how you streamline your processes. So in this case, I have uploaded this one model just directly in my web viewer. And if I jump back to my Documents tab, it is also going to show up as a document. So you have a way, you have a synchronicity between the two tabs. So here, for example, I have my model, which is uploaded from the web viewer. So this is now possible to do in BIMcollab to manage your models in the web viewer. Let's go now to the topic of model phasing. If we look on the left side, I have my project panel, and I have my project, and I have 3 phases, so stage 3, 4, and 5. For each stage, I have the model tab and also the document tab, which means that I can upload my designated phase models for each phase and also manage it. So I have better segmentation. The active phase, there's always only one possible active phase, will also be shown in the project level. So in project code 2503, I will here have the models of my active phase, which is symbolized in the navigation panel with a little time clock. So this little active phase time clock are my models for my active phase. So this is an additional way of structuring. And for the ones that already know the model tags can now be uniformly used from project to all the phases in between. So you have a uniform model tag system, whether it's phases or project type or project part and so forth. That can be then uniform between your different phases. Okay, let's go now to the last concept of structuring. You can create placeholders in the Documents tab. What exactly is that? So placeholders are preset holders where documents or models need to be uploaded, which is symbolized with an exclamation mark. Why is this beneficial? You can set up already all the right document information as you need it, all the right metadata in this document, but this document currently is empty. What we're waiting for is for a version. So the architect, for example, needs to deliver this document. So I'm creating a placeholder. I'm creating already something that the architect, I'm creating a setup that needs to just be easily, that can easily be used then by the architect or by an additional stakeholder. So these would be the placeholders, and in this way I can just quickly upload my relevant model with having preset properties in place. That would be those would be the placeholders. Good. Let's go now to the topic of accessibility. So we mentioned the viewers and the free viewers. I'll walk you through a few steps here on how you can do this. So from now on, I have the read-only model viewer. I'm gonna go to my settings for my project. I'm gonna create a new user. I'm gonna create here my my alias, just for the sake. This is my alias name, and I will add this free user now to my space. I'll call him model read-only viewer. I will select a mandatory company now, and I will just set him as a user. And key here, this free user now will not take away any of your licenses from your subscription. So I'll be able to create a user, set him as a viewer, and here we come to the options, the settings of accessibility. I can give him access to published documents, AKA or models. That would be no checks here. I could give him access to published and non-published models or documents. And I can also give this user access to confidential models in this case. So this is how you'd be able to control the accessibility of, in this case, a free viewer or your other users in the space. And then I would add this team member, and she would be able to see the model in the web viewer that's published, unpublished, and confidential. Okay, let's jump now to a bit of a deeper accessibility view. So the user permissions are really detailed on the phase level. And here I can really set up what a user can do with a model, if he can add models, edit them, delete them, execute other actions. So it can be even more specific if you'd want to do that for a specific user on phase level now. So these are the key pointers for the concept or the aspect of accessibility. And if we jump now to the topic of collaboration, here I'd like to show you just a few examples of how you can use some of the features to improve your collaboration with a team. In this case now, finding and searching models. So I mentioned metadata and how documents are structured here, also models, with metadata fields. And here you have the option on the left side to share search filters which are available then for the entire space or for the project, and you can then quickly find the documents or the models that you're looking for. In this case, we mentioned the placeholders. I went to delivered by architect. I'm looking for the drawings or the models that need to be delivered by the architect. You can also set up personal filters, and those are just personal. The shared ones are for the entire team. So we definitely recommend sharing team filters so everyone has ease in finding the most common models or documents for a project. And these would be my personal ones, architectural, placeholder models, and so forth. If I go now to my architectural models, I'm going to take now the case or the workflow of looking for a federated model, or for the case of looking for models that have relationships with each other or dependencies. In this case, you can use the links option, and I have here one part of a bigger building from the architectural team, and I have linked my other 4 parts of the architectural team, or the parts of the architectural building from the architectural team, and I have them in one place. So if I click on one, I can see there's a dependency to the other. So this would also be the case for federated models. And this is especially beneficial if you want to download. So for example, you can select now this IFC document. I go to download, and I can download with linked documents. So you have all your federated or dependent documents or models in one place, in one folder that you have downloaded. So that would be another small tip on how you can work maybe with more files or models which have dependencies with each other. What is then also helpful when you're working with bigger teams is, of course, everyone has different knowledge bases, dependencies. You want to exchange information. It helps when you can give additional context. And you can do this in the web viewer on phase level. You have the option to attach documents to multiple objects or to one object. So if someone is looking at a specific mechanical part and he's looking for the specifications from the supplier, you can link an document, or you can attach, that's the right word, you can attach a document to the specific mechanical objects that you've selected now. So it could be it could be anything from documents that you have, or I will Excel files or PDFs that you might have in the case, for example, of specifications. So here I can attach my relevant documents, models, PDFs, Excels, whatever you have lying in your document tab, you can then attach it to the object. So this gives a little bit more context, to the object. And last but not least, I wanted to mention the aspect of performance, of how this really helps with creating a more collaborative workflow. So when the web viewer works really well, you can also make sure that teams are more excited to use it as well. Additionally, BIMcollab Zoom, the link with BIMcollab Zoom is also already present, which helps with more collaboration on the desktop platform. Okay, so this was skim through, I would say, through some of our key features. And I would, of course, like to urge everyone, if you have want to know more about it, feel free to contact us with interest in a demo or a trial. But for now, I will go to my colleague Gijs, and I would like to ask him if there were some questions in between, some uncertainties in this session that we can clarify now.
There have been some questions. Some of them I have answered, but there are some coming in right now. So thank you for that. Let me see. Let's see what. So is there a dashboard where I can see any properties of objects displayed in the viewer, similar to the tab where I can see the property sets in Zoom? Do we have something like that in the web viewer? That's the...
If I understand correctly, the property sets of the element itself, correct? So if that is what is meant with that question, yes, that is possible. So you do have a property option or a property panel in the web viewer. So if you select an object, you can turn on and off the panel. So in my case, I had turned it off. So maybe this is maybe why you cannot see it. If you turn it on, you have the summary of all the property information of this selected object that you also have in Zoom. Yeah.
Maybe one related question, because it were an addition of questions in one sentence, is an organization or like in a table structure. Do we provide something like that?
Can you elaborate on the question? Do you mean in the web viewer or in the documents tab?
In the web viewer, yeah.
In the web viewer, that is
Maybe
something. Maybe I
can rephrase it. So when you work with BIMcollab Zoom, you have like tables over there, so lists. Those lists can be shared with the web viewer. So on a project level, you can also share those lists and make them available the same way they are structured in Zoom, like pivot grids, dashboard data, and a normal list. So yes.
Correct. Yeah.
There's also a question, is it possible to do clash detection?
That is a good question. No, it's not possible to do clash detection at this point. It still needs to be in BIMcollab Zoom for now.
Yeah, and one that is more or less related with the same answer, point clouds, do we provide it in the web viewer?
Similarly, just in BIMcollab Zoom for now, but good questions and something we can also take further for consideration and road mapping.
Yeah. I had several questions regarding the free viewer license of the web viewer. Maybe could you elaborate on that once more on how to set it up and also where you can make those models visible? And so not only in the web viewer but also in Zoom.
Okay, yes, so I can walk you through that. Let me find my project here. So let me start again. So the free viewer now, or the free model viewer, is a viewer that you can add to your subscription, to your space, your whole space, but they will not be taking away a license. The important thing here, though, is you want to add them to a project. So you want to add them, in my case, to this project that I added Karina to. And she is now just a viewer, and she will see only the model tab. So she will see the models that I have in the model tab, and no issues, just the model, and I can define what sort of models she has access to. So that would be, the detail, but then you can also define that for your read-only model viewer, whether it's published, unpublished, or confidential, and so forth. So the steps are the same of how you add a new user. The important thing, though, is here, do not assign a license to that person. Then they will only see the model viewer. And to the integration with BIMcollab Zoom, in your settings panel in your project, there is on the right side an integration button. And here you have the option to select the BIMcollab web viewer, number one, as your viewer, and number two, you can define if you want your web viewer models to be synchronized in BIMcollab Zoom. So this is a setting here that you want to toggle on. So you have the option to sync your models to Zoom and your active phase model if that's how you're working. And that you can define as well per project.
Okay, thank you. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Another one, are the attached documents also versioned, or do I have to upload a new document and delete an old one?
That is a good question. Documents are versioned, so even if you attach a document to an object, the last version is always shown. That's also sort of protocol in BIMcollab. You open a document, for example, you link a document, you're always seeing the last version of that document. Yeah, I was just trying to find an example here of multiple versioning. Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, but I think that answers the question.
Okay, thank you. Will this document part within BIMcollab, is that part of Nexus, or do I need to order it separately? How does that work?
That is also a good question. So BIMcollab Nexus has, let's say, its own features, and the document tab and the to-do tab are part of the BIMcollab twin package. So it's a different subscription, and you would need to buy BIMcollab Twin to be able to functionally use the documents and the to-dos. So those are the ones that are linked with Twin and not Nexus.
Okay. Let's see. Is it is regarding uploading of documents. Is it possible to upload documents to Nexus through the BIMcollab Zoom application?
That is an interesting question. I haven't heard it before. At the moment, no, that's not possible. The linking and the uploading and the viewing of documents is at the moment primarily in Nexus, so the cloud platform, and not in BIMcollab Zoom.
It is something that is on our wish list, and we are also working on integrations for the future. So in the future, there will definitely be different ways of synchronizing models to the BIMcollab cloud environment. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, like a really generic question. Is it possible to get an answer or a recording from this webinar? To answer it from my end, yes, it will be automatically sent to everybody who participates. So yeah, if you add a document to an element, will all the elements have the same document attached to them, or is it just attached to this specific element?
That's also a good question. It is attached to the specific element. So it's element specific and not typology or based on IFC entities. You would need to select everything in that case. Yeah. So at the moment, it's element specific.
Yeah, then is it also a really specific one? Is it possible to link a Revit file?
We're still talking about the attachments, correct?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, it's
Yes, so maybe I'll answer on both parts. Revit files can be uploaded in the Documents tab, because we're not only talking now about IFCs. I showed you IFC because of the web viewer, because the web viewer exclusively reads IFCs at the moment. And a Revit file can be uploaded here, so that is indeed possible. And to follow up on the question, you can then also link a Revit file to an object in the web viewer. So that's possible. So the attaching is for all document types, whether it's Revit, IFC, PDF, Excel. It's basically everything the database can read. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I have some more questions about the synchronization and also linking the models through Zoom itself, but those were already answered. And other integration remarks, maybe to answer them more general, we are aware of those wishes, and everything that is in this chat will be added as an insight. So thank you for sharing that. And we are definitely looking out for those ways of interacting. Okay. Let's see. Maybe a last one that is already addressed a bit, but will the view-only users you talked about only see the web-based model, or also the models directly in Zoom? It's addressed already by you, but maybe
Yes, so to clarify, yes, that is possible. So the models which will be in Nexus can be synchronized to Zoom, and they can be viewed in Zoom as well. And for the case of BIMcollab Zoom, it will depend if they also have a license there or not. So even if they do not have a license as a IFC viewer, they can also see the models. So the read-only viewer can see it in both cases, in Nexus and also in Zoom. Yeah.
And maybe a nice addition to that, if you share like smart views through the same project, those also become available for those free viewers in Zoom. So yeah, you provide them a whole package of interacting with those coordinated models. That's really interesting. Mm-hmm. Maybe the last question is an additional remark regarding the Revit file. The main question was, can we open directly Revit files in our web viewer? The answer is currently not, but we are really looking into that. Maybe keep an eye out for that in the near future.
Yeah, but nice to know.
Yes.
Good question. Nice to know that there is a demand at the moment, not possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good. Well, I will thank you, Gijs, for all your questions, and also thank you all attendees for your questions. Very interesting. Like I said, we're going to take this in further, evaluate, see really what the needs, demands are from our clients or potential clients. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for attending, and we wish you a great week, great weekend, and we hope to see you soon. Have a good one.